Rubble of empires.
Money and the cost of gender. Link in the description.
In this sense, trans women are women is the woke version of support the troops.
The point of public relations slogans like support our troops is that they don't mean anything. The point of public relations slogans like
as a woman
is that they don't mean anything.
A sound people identify with is a name, a proper noun like Steve or Frank. It's not a common noun, a word with a definition like typewriter, or woman for that matter. They have made the word woman as meaningless as Steve.
Is that they don't mean anything. They mean as much as whether you support the people in Iowa. Of course, there was an issue. The issue was, do you support our policy? But you don't want people to think about the issue. That's the whole point of good propaganda. You want to create a slogan that nobody's going to be against, and I suppose everybody will be for, because nobody knows what it means, because it doesn't mean anything.
as a woman.
But its crucial value is it diverts your attention from a question that does mean something. Do you support our policy? And that's the one you're not allowed to talk about. So you have people arguing about, do I support?
as a woman.
You know, of course I don't not support them, and so on, and then you've won. That's like Americanism and harmony. We're all together, you know, empty slogans, let's somehow join in them. Let's make sure that we don't have these bad people around who disrupt all of our harmony with their talk about class struggle and their rights and that sort of business.
It's the terrified babbling of a person who has lost touch with reality, and not always for completely unrelatable reasons. Another similarity is that the so-called support of the troops and the so-called support of transgender people involves feeding either group, both of whom are targeted for recruiting very young, so they don't have the mental capacity to resist the scam that's being perpetrated on them. And then they feed them into various mechanisms of industrial slaughter, one for colonial expansion, the other for religious sacrifice.
Like a monkey ready to be shot into space. Space monkey.
He has like all these views about things.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I agree with him on most of his things.
It's the terrified babbling of a person who has lost touch with reality, and not always for completely unrelatable reasons.